Alright, it's time to take a look at the biggest Hero Factory Ordeal of Fire set. This is Firelord, the main antagonist, the big bad guy of the series, and LEGO's first ever Titan figure set with the new CCBS system. Before it was Von Nebula, and this is the first time they create a big guy with the character creature building system. And so I actually am quite excited to see how this one will turn up. Now, a slight disclaimer, we all know that his legs are going to be terrible. We all know his legs are double jointed and they're not going to turn out the best. I'm already expecting this to come. So, I mean, I didn't even plan on getting Firelord, and this was all just last minute, and this was a gift. So, that's why I'm doing 4 Ordeal of Fire sets. So if you haven't seen Jetbug and the 2 heroes that I did, Nex and Evo 2.0, go check those videos out first, because this is indeed the last Ordeal of Fire set I'll be doing. And of course, what better way to finish it off with the big guy. So, let's just quickly glance at the box. So this is set 2235 with 125 pieces. So unfortunately, if you haven't noticed by now, the box is a little bit squished, it's a little bit damaged, it's very damaged in fact. You can see this is wearing off, this is all folded up, this is literally about to punch off. It's just all wrinkled. It's just because number 1, it's an old set, number 2, it kind of got squished on its way here because whoever sold this to me decided to pack it in an envelope. That's why. Should have put it in the box and none of this would have happened. But whatever, it's just a box. It's not really that interesting. In fact, I mean, you get this cool artwork of Evo and Stormer fighting the Firelord, so that's really all. Alright, let's just get this box opened and let's take a look at some of the parts inside, because I heard Firelord's got some pretty neat parts. Now this is already punched, so I just gotta punch this part, and I already ripped it. Isn't that great? Alright, number 1, instruction book in some pretty good condition, and that's all the parts. Alright, cool. Okay, fold the box back up, and let's see, we got 2 bags. We got 1 bag of his normal parts, all his big parts, what you normally get, and then this one is all his small Technic maliciousness. And for those of you who don't remember when I always did big Hero Factory sets, I'd come prepared and have this container, which I will empty out these parts in and take a look in a bit. Which also means I have the big camera ready for the speed build. So, before we get to the parts, let's just look at the instruction manual pretty quickly. It's a pretty good condition instruction manual. Yes, we open off with the big showdown between him, Stormer, and Evo. Whoa, I don't know what this is, but okay. Here's just a poster of all the 2.0 heroes. This is Hero Recon. Don't think you'll be interested in that at all. And 25 steps of 40 pages. So it shouldn't be that bad. Yeah, shouldn't be that bad at all. Probably gonna regret saying that later. Okay. I mean, this doesn't even look that hard to build. In fact, there's really not a lot going on, so let's just get right to it. Okay, this bag of parts. Let's get this bag out of the way. Okay, let's dig in. Number 1, the first thing I want to pull out is his torso. This is no ordinary torso. This is, in fact, the largest XL torso, extra shoulder joints and pins, and this torso is in orange. Ah, yes. orange torsos are always the best because they stand out from the normal black torsos that appear pretty much in every other set. So this is exclusive for Firelord, and so very nice torso. Can be useful to make like lava creature mocks or something. I don't know. I'm making things up on the go. Alright, what do we have for bones? I already see these. Also in that same color. These are same orange, super long knee joints. Oh yeah. Again, these are some pretty nice colors. So we got 2 of this, and these are some pretty nice pieces. But we do have the exact same piece. Let's see. Is there only 3 of them? Yes, there's 4 of them. 4 of the exact same knee joint piece, but instead of orange, these are in your standard color black. Yes, I can't speak. And then the rest of the bones, let's just fish them out and get them out of the way. Here they are. Pause the video to count them out, because I don't want to waste my time or waste your time counting out what's there and what's not there. There you go. Okay, we got those out of the way. Now I saw these are the knee joints, normal knee joints in red. We got some different colored bones in this set, that's for sure. And then, oh yes, 2 hands. Great. This guy has 2 hands, and that's good news. I was kind of fearing that he doesn't only have 1 hand for his shooter, and this giant flamethrower sword is just its own piece with no hands, and that was kind of scaring me, but it's not the case. He has 2 hands. Praise the Lord. Okay, and then we've got, for armor, let's get all these special fire armor pieces. How many do we got? I believe we have 4. So these are number 6s, and these are some exclusive prints for Firelord. Though these are applicable to mocks, you can make custom creations with these pieces. These are, see, it's got that very nice lava fiery mode or print on them, and these are some pretty nice pieces. You can make some definitely make some pretty cool lava mocks of these pieces. And then the gray, gunmetal gray, I don't even know what these armor pieces are called, but these are used for the fire villains jetpacks, Firelord included. Also number 6, 4 of them in gray, gunmetal gray. Also in gunmetal gray, this armor piece. And then also in gunmetal gray, 2 number 5s. And then, just to break it down, we've got a silver body armor, the spear for Firelord's shooter. It's like all the other fire villains, it is this specially high quality molded multicolored spear with a little bit of yellow and red. Very nice piece, and I'm going to throw that in there because these balls always like to roll in the tail when I'm building. And then we have this giant behemoth, which acts the handle or the back of this giant flamethrower weapon. I think this is not a new piece, is it not? I feel like this is a piece used before in the older Bionicle stuff. Bionicle fans, tell me if this is true, but I think this is something like that. Villain core in red. They're not called villain cores, but the folks call them villain cores, and these are just used for the extra looks. And then his shooter pieces himself, we got the pieces here, and then we got 2 fiery flames. These are for his jetpack, which were used through basically all the other fire villains. And then these Furno 1.0's blades, but instead of a red blade, this is an orange blade, and later on Jaw Blade repeated using these weapons as well, but he used them as actual swords instead of flamethrowers. So yeah, first time getting these in orange. That's pretty neat. And we got 2 red spikes. These are for his horns, if you will, and these are in red. And then finally, his head. It's a Glatorian head. This is before Breakout was the thing, so It was quite special using Glatorian heads. This one is a transparent red one. And then we have Drill Dozer's head, the last thing I want to show. So here we have Drill Dozer's head in gunmetal gray. You can see it's got the very nice mold. And wait a minute, this isn't Drill Dozer, this is Firelord. Psych. Here he is. So, with these fire villains, they have been dual back-to-back molded. What does that mean? That means to cut the cost of production, what Legos did is they made one face on this side and one face on the other side. So, Jetbug and Nitroblast shared the same head. Firelord here, this is his proper face, but Drill Dozer's face is right here. So in fact, you can make a gunmetal gray Drill Dozer if you want. And on the Drill Dozer figure, it's literally the same mold, except you'll see Firelord's head on the other side. So I don't know how well this is going to turn up, but I am definitely not looking forward to looking at the back of Firelord and seeing a Drill Dozer staring right at you. So yeah, not a big fan of these heads, but we're gonna have to see how this is gonna turn out. And then lastly, Technic maliciousness bag, but it's got some stuff I want to show. So let's just open this and get them out. Empty them into this container. Okay. 2 number 3s in silver. And then the rest here is all Technic stuff, which you may pause the video anytime to take a look at, because I'm not wasting my time and I ain't wasting your time looking at these. So let's get on right to building. And if you remember my Hero Factory, Savage Planet, or Brain Attack, or Breakout, then you know that for these big sets I use my 4K camera. So let's use that camera right now to build this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, may I present the villain that has the most terrible leg build of all, Firelord. Now, you do have to forgive LEGO for one very important thing. This is the first Titan figure that they've ever done with CCBS, so they're only getting used to it. They're just only getting started to it. But from a critical point of view, you can really see the emptiness with the legs, and it's not good at all. It didn't get there. It didn't even cover. It even shows these exposed Technic bits, and that just completely ruins the overall fiery aesthetic theme going on with the overall figure. So I can see why the legs have gotten such a massive hate, because they weren't well executed. But in the future, later in the same year Firelord was released, we got Rocka XL, which you can now see the legs. LEGO has learned their mistake through Firelord by making improvements when they designed Rocka XL. And the leg build is exactly the same, and if I was to put them side by side, you'll notice two things. Number one, Rocka XL is actually bigger than Firelord, surprise surprise. But the most important change is you can see the leg difference, how quickly it shifted from standard armor pieces to just you get full-on body armor pieces, more coverage and more details on the legs. They really redeemed themselves with Rocket XL's legs after the big mistake they have done with Firelords. So same year, these two sets came on the same year, but you clearly see they have Rocket XL was basically the redemption of Firelord. Needless to say though, he still has one more comparison, one more figure had a similar build style with him. That is later the year after 2012. Black Phantom was released, and people called Black Phantom Firelord 2.0 because you can see their legs are almost identical in terms of building, but with Black Phantom they have adapted the foundations of Firelord's legs, but they've number one, changed the armor, the bone pieces. Number two, made sure that it's fully covered, and that they have changed the style, the build, but they've just changed the looks and made sure these are covered and not nowhere near exposed. So Firelord was kind of the Kickstarter for Titan double jointed legs figures, which later they finished off in Black Phantom, which was actually the last Titan figure we'll ever see that uses the double leg joints. So Firelord, still, it's the starter, but obviously you can see it is not the greatest, very lack in terms of coverage, and they even attempted to cover it on the box art. So apart from all that, we've now talked about the legs a lot now, and just one last thing I just want to show you. It's got the armor on the side, and posability wise it's connected just like Phantom and Rocket XL. They've connected it to this main point here, and that will really help with ensuring that the figure is nicely locked. And the whole point of double jointing is so because the overall figure is quite heavy, and this is before friction adders was invented. They made sure posability was secure. It's actually limited when you pose it back here, but forward again there's a limitation, so they make sure you don't go too crazy with it. And I think that's kind of the thing that's fine, provided that they should have covered something up here. But the back is actually covered pretty well. You don't really see exposed torso bits. It's actually all fully covered. Plus you can see you've got the jetpack from you know, he needs to fly, right? Now, here is Drill Dozer staring right back at you. And his eyes are actually glowing thanks to that Clitorian head. See, I already feared this would come. This is why I really don't like double back-to-back molded heads, because you can already see Drill Dozer is staring right back at you, and I hate that when you look at this figure from the rear point of view. So, not a good idea with the double joints. The body, pretty well done. I like how they inverse the villain core to make sure the torso is fully covered. That's pretty creative. The shoulders are also covered with the number 3 armor pieces. They're really making sure this figure is fully covered. That's great. And then the front of the head looks fine if you don't look at Drill Dozer from the back. But I like the horns, the antennas they added on Firelord to spice up his look. It's particularly special, I think. I think it worked pretty well. The way they've done it, it certainly felt like he was more than just a normal villain, that he was the meanest and the biggest bad guy they've got out there. And I guess the Clitorian head was a good idea, because it really illuminates his head, and it gives him the glow. And I think indeed it's a pretty well executed head. Now we've got, let's see, we've also got his arms. So this arm, pretty long I gotta say, but posability, you can change this pose in all sorts of different ways. He's just got the standard ball shooter, nothing too fancy. It's just what you normally get. I like what they did with the special armor prints to cover the shoulders, and then they've got the bigger armor piece here for the wrist. Simple arm, but I think it's fine. Posability wise, this is also double jointed, just like Rocket XL. It's connected to the back as well, so in terms of posability, you can move this sort of back, but it will have limitations, but you can lift this forward like this. So it does have its limitations, but to keep the foundation sturdy, I think it worked pretty well, at least in my opinion. This side, little difference. You can see he's got his big flamethrower. Posability, again, you can pose it up a bit, move it up and down, not too much forward. So again, it's pretty straight forearm, but the flamethrower itself, I think it's pretty nice. I like what they did, this big like piece back here, and then they've got the blades in the front, and the fact that he still has his hand at the bottom is great. I was kind of worrying they wouldn't include his hand, but they did, and that's good. And that's exactly what they should have done with some of the heroes and some of the villains, and to have both hands and still have the weapon. So Firelord still has his ups and downs, but remember, this is the first CCBS large action figure, or if you want to say it, the Titan figure. Rocket XL and Witch Doctor were later next, and they really went crazy with Witch Doctor, but this was a good starter, I think, for Firelord. It's a good starting point for LEGO to design like a big Titan figure. This was definitely a good idea. They later on did continue that with Witch Doctor, which went, you know, completely crazy. But so it's a good starting point for them and for us, the builders, back then in 2011 when CCBS was first introduced to the world, and we all started getting used to the new system, Firelord. This is a great figure to get used to the system with. And although he did receive his hate for, you know, his arms not being well. No, sorry, not arms, his legs. His legs weren't covered well. I think he's not that bad as people said he was. In fact, I think he's pretty decent, not too bad for a super titanic villain. And I would recommend this, but if you had special parts, then definitely cover up the legs and don't make the mistake that LEGO made. You can certainly fix it, I believe. So I think I'm gonna give Firelord a, let's go with a 8 out of 10. Two reasons why I don't like him. Number one, the two-sided head. I would like to look at the figure backwards and not see a creepy drill dozer looking back at me. I think it doesn't work with double molding. It should have just been the single head since the start. Secondly, you've probably guessed it, the legs. They're not the greatest, because I just don't like how the Technic pins stick out. It ruins the whole overall color scheme of Firelord and the theme of the color scheme that they were going with. So yeah, that's why. But apart from that, the flamethrower is nice, the arms are built nicely, his head is great. I think his head is a pretty nice build, except for the headpiece itself. But the antennas worked perfectly, and I think he definitely is a cool villain that you should definitely take a look at. So that's all I gotta say for Firelord. And so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And that's all we've got for Firelord, the last Hero Factory set, I think. Yeah, this is the last Hero Factory set I'm doing. Wow, what a shock. And the last Hero Factory Ordeal of Fire. What a better way to finish off with a big villain like this one. So it's been fun putting this guy together, so I hope you guys had fun watching this review as well. And yeah, so have a great day, and hope you guys enjoyed, and take care. I will now continue delivering more videos for you very soon. So have a lovely day, people. We'll talk to you again in the next one. Peace out.